Hello friends, Tavi Jinariu here from eliteguitarist.com. I am sitting today with my newly made friend Mark Usherovich. Did I say that right?
Yeah, Usherovich, yeah.
Usherovich, okay. And Mark is a luthier that I met a few days ago, and we decided to just get together and introduce him to you and show you some of actually just one of the guitars that he has made, because he sold the rest of them.
Yeah.
But Mark, welcome.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. Tell us something about yourself. Where are you from? Give us just a little bit of a background on your life.
Okay. Well, actually, I born in Soviet Union, so then we moved to Israel, and the last 10 years we live in Canada.
Okay.
So, but actually, I'm a very big adventurer. So I like adventure. I like traveling. I like look around, exploring life. And to me, it's art is expression of what I explore, what I see. You know what I do.
How did you get started with the guitar?
Well, I still don't know why I'm started. I still don't know why I'm doing, but we say it's like a wrong thought came to the wrong head. So So I was working a lot with humanitarian work, working with the people, and one day somebody gave me guitar to learn. So I'm left-handed, so I never actually have a chance of like picking up somebody's guitar and trying to play. So then I have to have a special guitar. So I flip the strings, look into guitar, and I thought how it's made. Well, and this is how it started. So I start to explore how it's made guitar instead
Just curiosity.
Just curiosity, yeah. So, and decide to explore how guitar is made. So look into the book, internets, and well, guitar is made, that and that and that. So then I decided to say, maybe I try to make a neck. No, I'm not making guitar, I just make a neck, So let's see what's happened.
What would you do with just a neck?
Well, that was like idea, can I make a guitar neck or not, So I made a neck, and
you could defend yourself with a guitar neck, right?
It was mahogany neck, so it was pretty strong weapon,
Great. Okay.
So I made a neck, and it's like, oh, looks good. So I brought the neck to one of my friends in Jerusalem, and he was a violin restorer in the third generation. So I asked him, I made a neck for guitar, and how do you think? And he said, yeah, looks good. And why don't you make a whole guitar? And I asked him, how should I make a guitar? Well, you just do whatever you want, but there is all kind of like patterns, whatever. Well, I mean, do whatever you like, and it's gonna be good. So that was the best advice I ever get in my life.
Really?
Do whatever you want. So express yourself. So I kind of done whatever I felt. So I never touched really handmade guitar in my life, and the first handmade guitar in my life was mine actually, which I hold.
Really?
And it was good actually. So I showed to musicians, say, well, it's a very nice instrument. So I thought, well, it's kind of accidentally. So maybe I should try another one. Well, let's do another one. So I made the second one, and it went better. And well, that's maybe should make another one, third one. Okay, let's do the third one. I made the third one, it's even better. And so far, I'm still working making guitars.
Yeah.
But I tried to quit several times, and I couldn't. So it's like you just do it because it's a part of your expression.
Yeah.
So then,
why did you try to quit?
well, because sometimes it's become your profession, and instead of being an artist, you become the craftsman. So you become like it's something you have to do, and I don't want to do something I have to do. So I kind of trying to find like a normal job, and instead of making guitars, do something else, earning money. But then it's like artistic influence, cannot really stop in me. So and then it's like when you touch it, oh my God, this is something that really start to bubbling in you, and you kind of do it. And every time I'm coming back to making guitars, there is totally different philosophy and approach. It's like totally different inspiration. So as you like get resetted from whatever you done before.
So for you, these breaks, when you feel that the guitar building craft becomes a duty and becomes just not pleasant, and it feels like a regular job, might as well make cabinets, right?
Yeah.
Or furniture. That's when you take a break.
Yes.
And then when you come back, it's like a new, fresh wave of inspiration, and
it's just like you born again. So it's like reborn. So you still have the same skills, but you already have a. I mean, so it's like you giving up with something, and then you just taking it back, and it's totally different attitude. So the breaks, like I was working on the furniture sometime. I was manager of one humanitarian organization. So and then it's like coming back to that. It just understanding the everything all over, but with experience, with the previous knowledge.
Probably a lot of that is just connected to your personality too, right?
Well,
you need to be creative. You can't do the same thing for 30 years, right? Some people, because of their personalities, they just do the same job for 30 years and that's what they want. But
they're good craftsmen, but I hate to be a craftsman. I want to be artist, and I think there is everything is about artistry. So
Sure.
I'm drawing the musical picture with building my guitars. And that is everything is about art. So it's a musical instrument. There is a soul. So you don't create it to live. You create it because you cannot not create it.
Yeah. You don't create it out of the necessity to pay bills, because it would be a horrible way to pay bills too. A very difficult way. But you create it because you cannot.
Well, I like the mystery. So there is a combination: mystery instrument, mystery of sound, and mystery of musicians. So this is what I'm really combining all together. So that is everything is about experiences, and what we experience we don't sometimes even know, but we feel it.
Yeah.
So I can feel a musician. Musician can feel an instrument. I can feel the instrument. So there is some kind of triangle combination,
Sure.
and I believe the music is divine. And the beauty of heaven, which is musicians can see, they are the transformers to bring into the earth. So I think the instruments, it's a tool for them, which can help to project whatever is heaven, whatever divine beauty says, to be able to see, like for the artist, and to be able to hear as musicians.
Right. How long have you been building the guitars for?
19 years.
19 years.
Yeah, about
okay.
19 years, yeah.
And how many instruments have you built to this point in time, and what kind of instruments are they?
So I built about 100 instruments,
Okay.
and mostly it's nylon string classical guitars. And recently I get onto the point of building romantic guitars.
What is that?
Romantic guitars.
Romantic
yeah,
guitars,
romantic,
yeah.
which is something like that. And also I'm working with a double top and lattice.
Okay.
So to me it is a sound which I have in my mind. So I have imagination of the sound. So I have a feel of the sound, and a feeling I get from musicians as well. So I try to bring into the instrument. So I try to read the epoch instrument is saying, the music was written. So for example, we have an epoch of the 19th century music. So I try to feel what they eating, what they thinking, what they living in. So the beauty of the sound, and then I create a mechanical tool, which can, where I can put that character, that atmosphere.
Kind of recreate.
Yes, exactly.
A portion of history.
Yes, exactly.
So you have to kind of immerse yourself mentally, study history, culture,
composers.
trends,
Listen to that music on a piano, on a violins, reading, how they live their destinies. So for me to create a musical instrument to get a musical instrument, I have to read the destiny of the composers who wrote the music on such instrument.
Yeah.
And same way we are approaching to the double top and lattice, modern. So this is what really modern music, modern players tell us, what they feel. So then, we have to see what it is. So it's not really mechanical on the tool. It's a life living. It's atmosphere. It's festivals, competitions, studying, and all that stuff.
Yeah. And I just want to say this, folks. This is why some of these guitars cost how much they do. Because this is not entering a computer requirement and having a machine cut the wood and some glue slapped on the instrument. It's an all-encompassing process, and as I feel your passion, Mark. I mean, luthiers poured themselves into this craft, and when they don't build, they still build. They build with their minds.
Oh, yeah,
they
definitely.
read, and they immerse themselves into the world that surrounds the instrument itself, the physical instrument.
Well, you're in the shower and you try to solve something, you have to get that tone, you have to get that kind of dynamic, and suddenly it inspires you, you go to sleep, and then there is certain thought, just popping up. Oh,
Sure.
that's how it should be done. and you have experience with a musician, and he likes, maybe not likes your instrument, so you you analyze, and then so whatever he's looking for, you can say, well, you maybe not understand my instrument, or I try to understand him and put whatever he feels into my instrument.
Yeah.
And that is like a process of thinking, understanding.
Yeah.
So it's 80% of intuition and understanding, and 20% of craftsmanship and experience.
Yeah. Yeah, both a science and an art.
Yeah.
Yeah. This gives me just talking to you, gives me a much higher appreciation for luthiers. You have to do this because it's a labor of love.
Yeah, well, it's a part of inner expression. So sometimes people talking about what is the secret of violin makers, barnerists. There is no secret. There is a life. So every instrument, it's whatever you live with. It's expression of your life. So like a composer, you have a mood, good, bad, So he write the music. So the artist, he have a life experience, good, bad, interesting, he drawing a picture. So luthier, creating whatever he can express. So musician, when he plays something, he expresses his emotions, he expresses life as well.
Right.
So it's everything of there is a very much spiritual and soulful understanding of whatever is happening with the humanity, with the people, with the society around.
Tell us about this guitar that you brought. And this is the only one that you have left, because the other ones went to their specific owners. So I'm really thankful that you brought this guitar. Describe the guitar to us.
Well, this is a romantic 19th century guitar, and
this is what Fernando Sor would have played.
Yes, yeah, actually, all those guys they played on and wrote music on those guitars. So actually, they were sitting somewhere, thinking about something, watching beautiful flowers or fields, or had a good or bad emotions, and just put a note on that kind of style instruments. So when we play today, their music is getting a little bit closer to feel what they felt, to hear what they hear. So this guitar, I used a Lacote like a style. So I would say it's more like Lacote style, but I recreated. So it is not a copy of Lacote. So I recreated the body. So but the body is a different shape. It's a little bit bigger on a low bolt. So a little different mechanically working the bridge.
Okay.
So actually, and of course the bracing system and everything.
What is the bracing system like?
Well, there is a diagonal bars, and there is some additional small braces which is controlling the tones. For example, those guys like René Lacote or some other makers, they were aiming to us to make a better engineering instrument. So with every instrument, if you study like old makers, they try to make it sound better, more dynamics. So they were actually aiming to us. So what we have today, we have a much better engineering understanding how instrument is working, how it's pumping, how dynamics is working. So what we have today, we use a modern knowledge and bring it back to the culture.
Yeah.
So by using the knowledge we have today, I try to create an instrument which can use that character. So, and it's like I have to find the sound, and then I use understanding how the dynamics is working. And that's why it's a little different braces, it's a little different body shape, a little different thicknesses, and one side. Another side, the necks and the playability of 19th century guitars, they much more difficult for the modern players,
right,
because of the neck size, spacing. So in my instruments, I try to make almost the same as a standard classical guitar sizing and playability. That you can, just pick up any guitar, classical, modern guitar, romantic guitar, and you feel the same, but it's different quality of the of the tone and of the music.
So what's the nut size in millimeters?
So it is a 49, so it's a 49 plus, and but the string spaces is almost the same. So it's almost the same string spaces and the same string spaces here, and a little bit more low action. It's way more comfortable to play. And
what's the scale overall?
So the scale is, this one is a 629 millimeters, and I also built 622. And why 629? Because it's a way how wave is breaking, like a sound wave is breaking, not to 630.
Okay, I feel like we need to play some epoch music, maybe some Tarrega. This is Lagrima. It's wonderful.
In good hands.
I'm really enjoying it. Thank you.
You see, you start reading the soul of this instrument.
Yeah,
and you
yeah,
get some
started to-
chemistry.
Yeah, and I'm not playing anything the same because when the guitar responds, it gives you the flexibility in the moment to be spontaneous.
Yeah, it is. Actually, the good musical instruments always give you the next note, give you the next feel, what aiming to, what stretching to.
That's a really good way to put it, and I've never thought about it logically like that. But when a certain overtone lingers,
Yeah,
it gives you the freedom to be expressive
Exactly.
because you can trust that the instrument is actually going to carry that overtones and it affects the way you phrase.
yeah. Well, I'm not a player, but sometimes when I get a guitar, a good guitar, I'm just doing nothing, clink, clink, clink. But you cannot just stop clinking because it gives you the next and next feel, next and
Right.
next move,
Right.
next move. Yeah. Yeah, you just turn it. It's mechanical.
Yeah, these are mechanical pegs,
Yeah.
which they look and they don't feel like
Yeah.
real pegs. It's so much better.
Yeah, they have a rotation 1 to 6, something like that. Gear rotation 1 to 6.
Okay, let me play some. So this is a study by Fernando Sor. I heard this study a few years back, and it was an old recording of Segovia. I think it was one of those Decca recordings, and I was smitten by the quality of his phrasing and the beautiful just music that he produces. So this is a Fernando Sor study. should I ever record the Soar album, I would want to do it on a guitar like this. And you're like, well, yeah, go ahead and do it. Easy to say, right?
Well, I think it's gonna be very interesting music. You have very good touch.
Thank you.
So you have a very good inspiration, and I think it's again understanding of music, understanding of instrument, because very often people try to understand the music, but people also have to have also chemistry with the instrument, and
right.
understanding the instrument, because the language instrument speaks, it's a main language you communicate.
Yeah.
So you're not just a user of the instrument, you're combination with the instrument, you're combining the instrument.
Right.
So
and the more, this is the first time I'm playing this guitar.
Yeah, yeah.
And if you give an artist, a guitarist, a couple of weeks with the instrument, they get to know, just like you get to know a person, and they get to know what they can do best and where they're, and so the relationship and the symbiotic relationship will just continue to flourish with time.
Yeah.
Wonderful job. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
Mark, thank you so much for stopping by.
Well, thanks for inviting me.
This has been just a wonderful experience for me. This is a high quality instrument. It's beautiful. How can people get in touch with you?
Well, they can get on my website, Usherovich guitar, gmail.com.
That's the email.
Yeah, that's a website, and actually .com is a website, and the email Usherovich guitar at gmail.com.
Okay, good. We're gonna spell it out and put some text over this video so that people could visit your website.
Another part of that guitar, there is a label inside, and the label is handwritten by my wife. So every label from very beginning, it's handwritten label by ink. So every label is personalized. So and there is some kind of artistry as well. And my wife, she's artist, and she's going through the design and through every detail on the guitar as well.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And this guitar was made on Agatha Street.
Yeah.
You know what that means?
Agatha, well, actually, Saint Agatha, it's a place where it's a small village in Canada, and I think the Stradivari, he started his shop in in Saint Agatha Parish in Cremona as well. So
wow, that's a really interesting parallel.
It just happened, happened that we discovered that, and he made 3 guitars over there. So he made a few guitars in Saint Agatha.
Yeah, most people don't know that Stradivarius made guitars as well.
It was Baroque guitars actually, and that is another thing which makes some classical players getting into the stream as well, into the even authentic instruments like Baroque guitars and even lutes, romantic guitars and.
Wonderful. Agatha means good one.
Yeah, okay.
Well.
Okay, so
Agathos, from Greek.
Okay.
So this one definitely lives up to its name. It's a wonderful guitar. Congratulations. I wish you great success.
Thanks.
Keep doing this kind of stuff because it ennobles players. I feel ennobled to have played this guitar. It makes the world a better place.
Well, I think I cannot do it without musicians like you who understand that and who appreciate, but also who aiming towards creating bringing the musicality, bringing the peace and joy into this world, and using that tool and using your tools as a good musician, understanding of the music.
Yeah.
So it's like a Formula 1 and a racer, So it's a combination. So both have to be involved, and then it's gonna be good.
Yeah. Thank you everyone for staying tuned. I hope this has been helpful and educational, and to me it's just part of the sweetness of life to meet friends and to talk guitars. Every day I get to do that is a really good day, and today is a better day because I met you, Mark.
Okay, well, me too.
Thank you. Great job. All right, cheers everyone.